Alright, so I got myself a nice little, where did it go? Not sure well you can see it due to my lighting, but there is a crack in there. Up here, very small, very thin crack, just enough to make my idle go crazy. So what I'm gonna do is give this stuff a shot, see what happens here. I'm gonna go ahead and clean this guy off really good, unwrap it, get it nice and cleaned up, and go from there. Alright, so I got it nice and cleaned off. You can definitely see the crack a lot better now. It does end right there. Goes around and about to like right there in the middle. So it's about here to there. It's very thin, and on the box itself it says that if it's thin, then blah, 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 blah. I should use a repairs open small cracks further with a drill or screwdriver to create a 1/8 inch gap. I'm not gonna do that, but what I am gonna do, I'm gonna take a file here and pick one of these guys, probably this dude, and just file it down a little bit, make that crack a little more visible, a little thicker, something else for it to hold, for the bond to hold on to. Alright, so I filed it down a little bit, didn't really seem to do anything. I tried to get in the cracks as best I could, but we'll see. So what I'm going to do now is heat it up with a heat gun and try and get it to expand as much as possible. While I'm letting the heat gun sit, I'm going to mix this stuff. Alright, so it's been about 5 minutes on here. This is getting pretty dang hot. I can feel, just by touching it up here, I can tell that it's really nice and hot. This is all good and mixed up, so I'm going to go ahead and put some on there and see how that works. Alright, so I had it nice and hot. Put it on, got it on there. I believe it to be pretty good. Yeah, the second I put it on there, it almost turned to stone. The heat of the exhaust from warming it up definitely activated it almost instantly. So I put a bunch of big gobs on there, took a razor blade and started flattening it out, and it's workable, and it wasn't too hot to do. So I basically just worked it in, add some more, worked it in, used the razor blade to not only just trim it a little bit, sorry, one second, to not only just trim it a little bit like around there, but I also used it as like rolling, and there was a bunch of air bubbles and stuff in there, so I made sure to get all those out, push it down really hard. It's only been about maybe 3 minutes since I stopped working it, and it's already pretty darn hard. See, I got a bunch off here. This is kind of where it's at. It's still mildly pliable. Sorry, my camera doesn't want to focus, but I mean, you can, it's like a hard paste. It's not like just disintegrating, but it's definitely, it's not hard yet, but so yeah, that's where that is. See what it's like in a little bit here. Alright, so it's been sitting for about 15 minutes. I was doing some other stuff. I actually repaired a small hole in the back of the muffler with this since I had it out. It's getting pretty hard already after 15 minutes, but it's still, you can feel that it's pliable. So, just ripping this stuff off, I can see that it's not. On the back of the package here, it actually says to speed curing time, use a hair dryer to speed cure time, 24 hours before applying high heat exposure, which will be sometime tomorrow when I go to work at like 6:30 in the morning. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this guy on low, put it all the way down on 1, and pretend it's a hair dryer, and just kind of throw it at it like that. Super low heat, just kind of let it hit in the center and then wrap around the edge there. Trying to get some of the moisture out of it, I reckon, is what we're trying for here. Yeah, if it appears slightly soft, use non-flammable heat source. I don't know what non-flammable heat source is other than the hair dryer, but hair dryers are flammable. That just feels like a little low, so I'm gonna crank it up to 2, crank it all the way up to number 2, and let it sit for a while. Alright, so after about 45 minutes sitting on the ground in front of the heat lamp there, I decided it was good in time to throw it back on. So that's what I did. I went ahead and tossed it back on there. It's looking a little dried out, a little cracked. So, I don't know, we'll see. I guess I gotta wait 24 hours, but I only have until 6 a.m., so that's gonna have to do. We'll see tomorrow, huh? Alright, so it's like 6 in the morning. It's been about, they did this yesterday at like 9 a.m., so it's been about 21 hours. About to drive to work. So I did a quick little video in case I can see any difference when I get there, if there's any cracks or anything like that. So, alright. So this is after about 2 miles of driving. I kept it around 4,000 RPM as much as I could, trying to get it as hot as I could. You can see it bulbous out quite a bit. I don't know, we'll see. We got 8-hour shift to see what happens after, so I just got home and opened the hood, and this is just blown away. But you can totally see the crack a little bit better now. You can actually feel it coming out of there and smell it. So there you go. JB Weld putty not work in that situation.